Welcome to Business as a Magical Practice, where your business is the vehicle for your self-integration and soul evolution. My name is Sam Garcia, and I'm the founder of Dirty Alchemy Digital Marketing. And I'll be guiding you through how you can use your business as a spiritual practice and what magical businesses are doing to hit their goals and change the world. Together, we'll be relating the mystical to the world of business so that our work can unite spirit and matter, shadow and light, conscious and unconscious. Let's dive in.
So if you're a manifestor in human design, and you own your own business, you know that you are a tiny, tiny minority. And so today we're going to talk about I am a manifestor myself, and we're going to talk about strategies that work really well for manifestors and other non-sacral beings if you run your own online business. And if you don't know me, hi, my name is Sam, and I run Dirty Alchemy, where we help 6- and 7-figure online entrepreneurs, creatives, total weirdos to thrive in business, to increase their revenue and scale, while also getting their freedom and time back. So I am a 5/1 emotional manifestor, and I have been self-employed for over 10 years. And I think it is a very natural thing for manifestors to be self-employed because you get angry when people tell you what to do. Am I right? And you probably already know that 70% of the population is either a generator or a manifesting generator. And only 9% of the population are manifestors. So that's you. Welcome to the club. And if you're a projector or a reflector watching, we are going to touch on some things that apply to you too for fellow non-sacral beings, but this is specifically for my beautiful fellow manifestors. And if you haven't heard of human design before, it is kind of like astrology on steroids. You should definitely pause this video and go to jovianarchive.com or .org or any website, or just Google human design chart and get yours done so that you can change your life, because it's a pretty fun, exciting route to go down. From talking to other manifestors, I had a very similar response to finding out I was a manifestor. I first found my chart in 2013. So, almost 10 years now. It was this oh yeah, I'm one of the weird ones. Oh, I get to be the cool, rare one. And then, at the time, there's a lot of amazing interpretations of human design now, but back 10 years ago, all of the messages to manifestors were like, you're a dying breed. Your time has come to pass, and you should just live out your life alone in peace. It was very disappointing, disempowering messaging. Luckily, we have a new era of human design readers that are significantly more empowering, and I believe they actually see the truth of the power of manifestors and our necessity on the planet right now. So if you ever hear a human design reader, tell you things about being a manifestor and it makes you shrink and feel shitty, then definitely find a different one, because they're lying to you. So manifestors are meant to initiate. And I'm not going to go through all the basics of human design. There's a gazillion YouTubes that exists, YouTube videos and Instagram posts and articles that exist about the basics of human design. But essentially, manifestors are meant to initiate. We have these lovely cycles of rest and creation and creative urges that we're meant to go through, where we need tons and tons of time to actually rest and process and recuperate. And then a new creative urge will come through, and we allow it to go through our own authority. I'm emotional authority, so I let it go through our emotional wave. And then it's go time of, essentially, for me, my experience of a creative urge is kind of like a manic episode of wanting to work on something for 20 hours straight, or I want to shut myself in a room and just do this one thing 24/7. And it's just this turn the amp up to 11 energy of creation. It is exciting. It is fun. It is rewarded by society in a lot of ways, where the rest periods are less rewarded by society. As a manifestor, as I mentioned, you are inclined to be your own boss. So you can incorporate these cycles of rest and creation into your business. I feel like the hardest thing that manifestors come up against once they find out that they're a manifestor is the fact that consistency is pretty needed in running your own business. And yes, I've heard plenty of people say like how to run your business without being consistent, like how I got to 7 figures without being consistent. How do I like blah, blah, blah. It's kind of a trend right now. And I just want to call bullshit on it, because if you actually look at their business, they either have systems and automations in place so that while they themselves are not consistent, their business is consistent in putting out posts and interacting with people, or they have a team in place, or they've been in business for so long that their name recognition kind of covers that. And if you look back at how they actually started their business, they were consistent. So like, let's just drop that. Consistency on some level is needed when, at least in the beginning, when you're growing up your business and creating a brand. Please don't turn off the video if you're like, fuck you, fuck that, I don't want to hear that. Like, don't worry. There's things that you can do as a manifestor to make it not feel opposed to your natural nature, opposed to your nature. What I found that really works for me and what helped me out in the beginning was I hired help before I was ready, where it seems like, at least in the spiritual online space, everyone talks about getting a coach, getting a coach, getting a coach. You get a coach, you pay a coach, blah, blah, blah. If you're a manifestor or a projector on a note, like if you're someone who doesn't have the consistency of a defined sacral, hire help before you're ready. Not, of course, like listen to your own intuition, but often you need a virtual assistant, you need an OBM, you need someone who can actually do the work in your business to help you implement on a consistent basis before generators may hire. Because I know quite a few generators who got to multiple 6, if not 7 figures, pretty much working alone in their business. They are different than you. They are part of the 70% of the population, and that is not you. Of course, you can absolutely grow your business without help, but just from the projectors and manifestors that I've worked with as clients, they have felt so much more freedom and relief just hearing that you can actually be helped with these things. Like, you don't have to be the one who's posting and responding to comments. Pay someone to do it. How freeing. And you just get to be in your zone of genius. Yay. Another really important thing is to learn boundaries with clients. A lot of manifestors, and women in general, have been conditioned to be people pleasers, right? Like, you hear this so often with manifestors that because we're so powerful, or like we used to rule, or like whatever the interpretation is, often our parents, if you don't have manifestor parents, they just don't know what to do with us. So instead of our unique skill set and our unique nature, instead of it being encouraged, we are taught to people please, because we were these tiny beings that our life and death really did depend on our parents, like everyone else. What happens with this is we often take people pleasing into client work, or with our online courses with customers and buyers. How this looked like for me in the beginning, before I learned better communication and boundaries, actually respecting myself in that capacity, was I would give clients my phone number and they would text me, even if we were in completely different time zones. So I'd like wake up at 5 a.m. to text messages from clients, or like text messages from clients at 9 p.m., or accommodate any time to do calls with them, or do multiple calls a week if they needed. It was just a nightmare. I was so anxious all the time. I wanted to throw my phone at the wall. I wanted to shut down my business. I was miserable. And a lot of people could say like, oh, then just change your business style and don't work with clients. But you don't have to actually burn down your business. You can just learn boundaries. So I still work with clients. I still do calls with clients. I still have clients that have my phone number. But having my own internal boundaries and communicated boundaries with clients has made it so that I don't feel that resentment. So really, really, really look at this if you're a manifestor or like identify as a people pleaser, because it can actually make and break the growth of your business. Because if you have really lax boundaries, or you're allowing people just like in however they want to interact with you, and you don't have like this defined interaction, then you're not actually going to on some level, you're not going to want new clients. So you won't actually be able to grow your business. Really fun one. Systems are your friend. And automations will absolutely help you. Even though we do not necessarily as individuals have consistent energy from like a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis, our energy fluctuates significantly. Or like me, you just went through a 2-month rest period where you were incredibly low energy and didn't have any creative urges. Systems and automations are your friend. So this can look like simplifying your process that you do things with clients so that it is step by step, incredibly efficient. You do the same thing. You go through the same way every single time. And it just makes it so it takes less of your hours. Or you can actually train someone on your team to do it for you. This also works with automation. So you can use something like Meet Edgar, which is a social media tool that will just will repost your old content and will have this queue of content that goes out, and you can like add new stuff to the queue, but in times where you don't add anything else, it's just going through your old queue of stuff to put it out automatically without you doing anything. So while your team can help you with that consistency, your automations and systems can help you with the consistency too, without you even have to do anything, or at least it takes a huge amount of doing away from your to-do list if you have one. And side note, I have heard some general manifestor advice to not work with clients long-term because you have these like big creative urges and like everything's so short and whatever. And I just wanted to throw in here, because this is my first manifestor specific video, that isn't true for me. So some advice you hear from manifestors about manifestors is just not going to be true for you, because I've had clients for years. I've had coaching clients for years as well, where like we're meeting on a monthly basis or a weekly basis, or they're working with my team. And as long as you have really clear boundaries, it can work. So don't just blindly, like, I don't expect you to, but like, this is your invitation to not blindly follow someone else's advice, but to really test it out for yourself. Because I've heard some manifestors say, oh, I only do VIP days because I don't like working with people long term because I'm a manifestor. And I'm just like, I've worked with some clients for years and I love it. I love that long-term deep relationship that I get to form with them. So some more beginner manifestor advice I have is to really start connecting with the feelings in your own body and the sensations in your own body, because a lot of people who find out that they're a manifestor, they just had no idea and they might not even resonate with it. And that can be because we've been so conditioned to not connect with our bodies. You don't even realize that you have creative urges. If you can really start to sensitize yourself to your desires and to your energy spikes or ideas, that when you think about this one idea, it really uplifts you. And suddenly where you were low energy and bored, you hear this one idea and it suddenly like sparks you and fills you with energy. Like, you are meant to follow that. You are so meant to follow that. So you actually being able to sensitize yourself to your desires is so important. And invitation right now, like, what do you want? Actually journaling on, do you imagine yourself being a writer and that feels kind of scary but exciting? Or do you want to be known for this specific thing, but that like feels so far-fetched? Or you want to be the biggest person in your industry? Or like, if you want to shut down your entire business and like go travel the world, whatever it is, really start following the feelings in your body around what excites you, because that is what you are actually meant to follow. Rest cycles. This might be the hardest part of being a manifestor, because where our high energy periods and our creation periods, while there's a lot of trust involved because we're often birthing something completely new into the world, the rest cycles are often the hardest for manifestors. I know it is for those who I talk to. I know it is for myself, because there's this sense of when you're in the middle of a rest cycle where you're not excited about anything, where you're tired, where you're lethargic. There's this sense of, this is how my life is now. Like, I'm tired. I'll never have a creative urge again. There must be something wrong with me that I'm not excited about anything. but it's actually a natural part of our energy. So you getting comfortable in rest cycles and start having a beautiful relationship with that rest cycle where you go fully into it and you give yourself over to it. And you learn different activities or non-activities that you love doing during your rest cycle, whether it is reading great novels or staring at the wall or binge watching a TV series or walking on the beach or just petting your dogs. Like finding the things that really fill you up during the rest cycles does make it significantly easier. I mean, one of my favorite things, if you want to steal from me, is I love listening to audiobooks, specifically in the sci-fi romance genre. I love doing that during rest cycles and in general. But you actually having a positive relationship or making friends with your rest cycle, it is going to be something that will be a part of the rest of your life. So you getting into good terms with it now is going to help you, and it will make it so that you have your body and your mind is ready to really channel that high energy during your next creative urge. As a manifestor, one of the things I love most about having my own business is that my days get to vary dramatically running my own business. And I get to have a team to help me with things that I don't want to do. One of the things that really works for me is I like to do things first myself and really set up an ideal way of going through them before I'm able to actually hand it over to someone to do it for me. A platform I love, I've mentioned it time and time again, is Asana, ASANA, which is an online project management system or platform that you can absolutely use just with yourself. It's a way of actually getting things out of your head and say, okay, I need to do this thing by this date, or this thing, I need to remember on the first of the month to always do this thing. But it's also a really great way to delegate to a team or to a virtual assistant if you have one. So having a daily task for someone to respond to comments on your Instagram, or having a weekly task to upload a replay from your group coaching call for the mastermind that you run. So amazing that like not only is something delegated, but you don't even have to tell someone what to do because it lives in this digital platform that you don't have to think about again. So finding a project management system so that you can hand off things that are incredibly repetitive and you can be in your own inspiration and your own creativity is a game changer. I think for everyone, but especially for manifestors. If you're a manifestor, I would love to know, please comment below. Tell me about how doing business is for you as a manifestor. Do you have any routines? Do you have any softwares? Do you have any hacks that make it so that you can really make best use of your energy type? And let me know if you want to hear more of these, just tell me in the comments below or DM on Instagram if you want to hear more of these manifestor videos, just because this is our first one that we're doing. And I love human design. I love talking about human design. And I know that we are the minority as manifestors. So boost it up if you, or give us a like if you want more of these manifestor videos, or let me know if you're a non-sacral person. So you're also a projector or reflectors, if you want to hear some non-sacral, because I work with a lot of non-sacral beings in human design too, and we're special. So I'd love to talk more about this. For manifestors and for spiritual online business owners, it is so important that we're able to actually ally with energies that are stronger than us. So check out our Soul of Business meditation. It's a guided hypnosis where I take you through meeting the soul of your business. Your business, in case you didn't know, has its own soul, and you can actually ally with it as a separate entity than you, so that you, as this human in a meat suit, it's not just all on you, but you can actually ally with this much more powerful being, which is the soul of your business. Check out the link down below to get that guided meditation. I'll see you next week for our next video. It's going to be a good one. So make sure you subscribe, hit that notification button so you never miss one.